Is it over? Is Mary Sue dead? No, she's badly weakened, but she survived. Because canon always wins. Yes, we can. Canon always finds a way of fixing itself. You have no power in this world anymore. Give it up. You're already beaten. What? Huh?
What?
Crom.
That voice is not one that I'm used to hearing.
No.
Crom, do you know that person? No, wait, what? What? Did our time run out? Did Mary Sue send us back before we could finish her off? Have we lost? Yeah, we may have failed. Mary Sue might be too strong for us. A great force sent us away. Was that her? Huh. The Fell Dragon was trying to save us? What does that mean? And why is Tiki here? Well, Tiki's body was destroyed by Mary Sue, but her spirit still remains. And she's apparently taking Naga's place there. And will be tied to that world forever.
Yes.
Well, if Tiki believes it, then I guess we did succeed. Naga's dead. No doubt Mary Sue found the power to kill a god as well.
Thank you.
And of course, all transmissions get cut off before the important part. We won. Apparently, we actually did it. How did we do that, though? Mary Sue's survived. Their world is about to be saved.
Yes.
Our efforts pulled them from the pit of despair.
Indeed.
They should be. Well, I guess I trust Naga. I still don't know how he won, though.
Father!
This Lucina's on her own. On her own against Mary Sue, and she seems to have recovered all her health as well. The former owner of this body, and the one that Crom knew before. Wait a minute, could that be... I think I know who that is. Who's fighting back? Robin. The real Robin. The one who Mary Sue replaced in this story. And then there's this line. So, a lot of people take this line to mean Crom and Avatar is the canon pairing of this game. Bear in mind, though, this DLC came out after the main game, long after the main game. At this point, the developers would have known a lot of the fandom, and thus realised how popular the Crom and Avatar pairing was, and thus, I'm pretty sure they put this line in just as fan service to fans of that pairing. The boss here says this line even if your avatar is male or not married to Crom, so it's pretty obvious pandering. But, in sending Crom away, the spirit of the original Robin has finally perished. I guess that means we're doomed.
No.
Unless... You wouldn't think the children we saved would be late to this, would you? Of course they still have a part to play. Yes, she did. They're alive, and Gary Stu has failed. Yep, you got that right. We've defeated Gary Stu.
Stay alert. I did it.
Somehow Noir turned into a ballista. And, well, that means we have 3 out of 5.
Trust me. But don't you see?
We still need 2 more, but...
Well, hello there.
I think that voice clip is really well timed. Yes, they're safe too. Thanks to our incredible efforts.
Well...
Nope, guess nothing can.
A hero is never idle.
Because they are the true vanquishers of evil. All 12 are together again. Perhaps together they can all do this. And that's 5.
You have my gratitude.
We have them all. This line is a little interesting. For some reason, this line is different depending on the avatar's gender, and I don't know why. Male avatar says, "So the Morgan I sent after your group failed as well." And here's why I find this weird. The female avatar's line, saying about Morgan failing twice, implies that both Morgans are the same being. This is actually a mistranslation. The male avatar version of this line is correct. They should be referring to the 2 Morgans as separate entities. For some reason, they've mistranslated the female avatar's line from "So the Morgan I sent after you failed as well" as "Morgan failed twice." I can actually see why it would be easy to make that mistranslation, because there are no real plurals in Japanese. But still, yeah, I find it weird that the female avatar version was mistranslated, but not the male avatar one. But yes, Merisu Jr.'s gone as well. And cut the music, because we're now officially doomed. Can't perform the awakening without Naga.
Yes.
And Mary Sue killed her ages ago. Yes, to stop the one thing that could destroy her. Of course, in the actual canon version of the Future Past, a lot of people have debated how this is even possible, since Naga said that neither she nor Grima could kill each other, and yet Grima claims to have killed Naga in the Future Past timeline. How did that happen? Well, there are several ways it could have happened. Perhaps Grima found a way to use Naga's own power against her. Perhaps Grima mind-controlled Tiki into killing Naga? That might work. Either that or somehow Grima got hold of one of the Falchions temporarily. But yeah, Merisu's plan in advance. Without the awakening, we're doomed. Nothing can stop her. And yes, Tiki did say that in her world Naga is dead. But Tiki did say that we won. Why is that?
Why?
Ah, yes.
No, it wasn't. I believe that it wasn't. Tiki believes it wasn't.
No.
Because somehow she's found a plan. With all her strategizing, Mary Sue made one very, very big mistake.
No. Yes.
Tiki can become the new Divine Dragon and have the power to use the Awakening. But, well, Tiki's dead.
Well,
Except, well, Tiki's body may have died, but her spirit didn't, and that's all she needs to become the world's new Naga. The woman inside Mary Sue intervened. Again, the real Robin. She's fighting back.
What?
And still more complications. We needed to be on Mount Prism, and, well, Mary Sue's probably going to kill us all before we get there, so again, we're doomed. Or not. Interesting. The place that used to be the most sacred place in the world isn't anymore, thanks to, ironically, Mary Sue herself defiling it. Naga's powers focused elsewhere. I think we can put 2 and 2 together here. Yep, you messed up, Mary Sue. You made your one vital mistake, and that mistake will be your undoing. She may have stood a chance if she'd left Mount Prism alone. She may have stood a chance if she stayed around to destroy Tiki's body, but she didn't. Now that Tiki's remains are here, this place is where the awakening can work. This is where the Divine Dragon's power is the strongest. Right at her feet.
Yes.
Yep, you were wrong about Robin's spirit being gone forever. Yes, all she needs to do is stall you this one time. And then we've won. Let's go, Lucina. Perform the awakening. Come on, hopefully she can survive the fire. But I mean, who am I kidding? Of course she will. Just like her father did. Her heart has been deemed worthy. Now, Lucina's blade has the power of the Divine Dragon. And that is what we need right
You
now.
have my gratitude.
Damn you!
Cannon has intervened. The Cannon Robin is preventing you from fighting us. She still refuses to become one with you.
Come. All right. I'm yours. Stay strong. Let's go.
We're in this together. Ready when you are. You got this. You got this. Come. Keep it together.
Go. Now. Hope will never die.
Damn you!
You all right?
Thank you, Crom.
And with that, we've won. Lucina has saved Cannon. While Mary Sue can never be truly destroyed as long as fanfiction exists, her body will one day regenerate, but I'm pretty sure that she won't be coming back to this world ever again. She knows that it is protected.
My thanks.
Peace at last. The world is saved. Soon, all the damages done to Cannon will be erased and everything will return to how they should be. It'll be as if Mary Sue never existed at all, and the real Robin will take her place.
Well,
We only did it because they refused to give up.
no.
Unfortunately, Tiki can't stay. She has now become the Divine Dragon, though as canon repairs itself, she'll be restored to life like how she should be. So this is only going to be temporary. It might take a while for all the changes to canon to come into effect, but eventually things will go back to the way they were. And the Hero King and Crom will continue to watch over Lucina always.
Right. Thank you.
Hopefully, this peace will not be broken again. And this line right here, this is a direct reference to Fire Emblem 4. The 12 heroes refers to the 12 Crusaders of that game. 12 warriors who fought against an evil empire ruled over by a human possessed by an evil dragon. The 12 heroes were cornered at a castle called Dana, and they prepared to make their last stand and everything seemed lost. At that moment, Naga descended onto the world along with the other divine dragons, and she saved them and gave the 12 heroes her power, which they used to defeat the dragon and save the world. Sound familiar? Yeah, this plot is basically a direct reference to that. Which means that the second generation characters are basically the new 12 Crusaders. Does that mean that in the future people will be talking about having a Wayne blood? That would be awesome. Yes, we will. Once canon repairs itself, she'll be fine again.
Right.
Yeah, now just time to enjoy yourselves. Again, as much of a jerk as she can be, she does have a massive inferiority complex that you can't help but feel bad about. And then you have lines like that. But, as Mary Sue's damage is undone, so too will everyone she killed return to life. And they'll be watching every step of the way. Yeah, they already feel like they happened to someone else because that distortion of canon is already starting to disappear. And the world is waking up from its nightmare.
Right.
But this victory here is real. And this line is kind of a subtle fourth wall break. This ending will not happen if any one of those children died. So yeah, you have to have everyone survive in order to get this ending. And Yillis is lucky to have all of you too.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
No problem.
Noir would assume the worst because Future Past 1 really had it out for her.
Well,
I think Brady's gonna cry a lot from now on.
hey, I'm alive!
Yes, we need to spread the word that Mary Sue is gone and this world can finally be at peace. Tomorrow a new sun will rise. Sadly, many did not survive.
You have my gratitude.
And we need to thank you for being strong and being the only one who could finish this. Well done, Lucina. You deserve this moment. May the gods keep you safe and this world always. And so, things come to an end. For real this time. Because I knew I would be viewing the credits twice, I decided to save my thoughts on the game itself for the first run-through, and then give my thoughts on this project in the second. So, thoughts on the project. It's actually a little hard to describe here. Strangely enough, this ended up being very different to how I expected it would turn out to be, but in a very, very good way. In fact, I can actually link it very much to how Awakening itself happened. This game, Awakening, due to the fact that it was almost the last game in the series, this game was always intended to very much be a love letter to the series' long-time hardcore fans. As strange as it might seem, this game was very squarely aimed at the existing fan base of this game, with the enormous number of references to past games and setting another game in Arcania. It would be kind of like setting a new Pokemon game for their 20th anniversary in Kanto 20 years in the future, for example. What this game actually ended up turning into, though, was an accessible game that attracted a huge number of newcomers to the series. This is no bad thing at all, but it's completely the opposite of what the developers originally expected or intended. For me, this playthrough did something similar. Initially, I expected this to be just another thing for my channel that would only be watched by maybe 50 or so people, because my last playthrough generally only got around 50 to 100 views. That was pretty much the norm for videos. I intended this to be basically just something for the very, very few regular commenters on my channel to enjoy, a nice callback to my Fire Emblem 12 New Mystery of the Emblem playthrough, and well, it was something that I'd been planning for a while. Of course, I did plan to cover this game in as much depth as possible. I planned to cover as many supports as I could, to give bios for the full growth rates, class options of all the characters, to discuss side things, and I still have a few more side things I want to discuss. I wanted to make as complete a coverage of this game as I could, but I really didn't expect very many people to see it. And then I was just blown away by the response to this. I honestly never expected this to be as successful as it was. The fact that it's been getting 1,000 to 2,000 views regularly is just... that's something that I never would have thought would happen. And I just don't even know how to express my gratitude here. It's just... I have no words. I just didn't expect this at all. And... the fact that it's attracted a huge number of new people to my channel, just like this game attracted some new people to the Fire Emblem community, again, I did not expect that at all. And I'm glad to see all this support, all these comments, all these new faces who are regularly commenting on my videos. I love talking to you all, and you've made this a great experience. It's just, it's pretty surreal just to have to talk about all this, right? Movie Facial Supervisor? They did facial capturing? Interesting. But anyway, it's just the response to this has just been so massive, and I'm trying to find out, it's hard to think of actually why it happened. It might have been because I timed this kind of similarly to when Fates came out, and in a way I did plan that. I planned to do an Awakening playthrough for years, and I kind of lost interest for a while. And then, the beginning of this year, we saw the first trailer for Fates. Before it was even called Fates, before it was even called If, it didn't even have a name, it was just New Fire Emblem. I saw that, and immediately, my inspiration was rekindled to do this again. My inspiration was rekindled to do a playthrough of this game, because I just thought, okay, it's perfect timing. The Fire Emblem bug just bit me. I needed to get my dose of Fire Emblem, really, before the new one came out, and so I thought, hey, it's as good a time as any to do this, right? And, yeah, it seems like a lot of you have enjoyed this, so I'm really glad you have. It's been great seeing all your comments. In fact, it's kind of strange. I've been getting so many comments on some of my videos that I'm not even told of all of them on my feed. I sometimes have to look back at the actual comments section of videos just to see comments that slip through my feed. And I've even been looking through at a lot of old videos, like the ones from the very beginning of the playthrough, and noticing comments that I never noticed before. And yes, I do make an attempt to reply to most of them when I can. So, yeah, I'll get around to all of those. Music composition, Ray Kondo, you are amazing. Seriously, this game's got a great soundtrack. Anyway, now that I've kind of finished talking about my thoughts on the project, I can discuss the credits a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to focus more on the credits this time because the upper screen character endings kind of overshadow them, which is really irritating to me. Yeah, I kind of wish they did the credits separately to the character endings like they did in earlier Fire Emblem games. They've been doing this ever since, I believe, Shadow Dragon, and I'm not entirely sure I like this. Also, yeah, see there, Priam. Priam's name there in the Japanese voice credits. That was the only indication that Priam even existed when people first played this game. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. Like, nobody knew. This was before the 3DS had even been hacked. Also, yes, avatars. Notice how there are only 3 voices there. Miyuki Sawashiro does the voice of every female avatar voice option in the Japanese version, and even one of the male ones. Yeah, she's also female Morgan, so, she really worked for a paycheck in this game. Voice casting support, good on you. The voice acting is pretty amazing here, and they're going to credit both the English and the Japanese voice acting, which I really, really like. It's rare that you see the English voice actors actually get credited equally as much as the Japanese voice actors. But anyway, yeah, I've enjoyed every moment of recording this game. Well, there are only 2 times where I wasn't having fun. Firstly, Nars Paralogue, that one just gave me way too much trouble, and secondly, Future Past 2, which again gave me way more trouble than I expected. That was really, really, really annoying, and I hope I don't have to do that chapter ever again. I'm sorry if I sounded angry in that one, I just really, really lost my patience with that chapter. But, yeah, I have really enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing more Fire Emblem games in the future. So, okay, here we go, North American localization. I'll talk about this later. So, I want to actually discuss this a little bit. The localization of this game, to me, is very hit and miss. It's very well written, I'll give it that, but I wouldn't really go so far as to call it a translation. Very often the dialogue is totally different to the original, and as you can see there, this game was localized by 8-4 Limited. I looked up that company, and it's actually a little interesting because, also translation, I hope I can get my game in the credits of games there someday. My name... The translation was done by, also, yeah, Patrick Seitz voice direction. Yeah, pretty awesome. It was done by 8-4, and the weird thing is, and this is what really confuses me, they did Shadow Dragon. I've been talking to so many people about this game's translation, and I've always cited Shadow Dragon as an example of a game that has a translation that is totally faithful to the meaning of the original, and yet doesn't sound boring. It's spiced up just enough that it actually sounds really, really good in English, but it doesn't change anything too majorly like this game does. This game, I'd estimate at least a third of the entire script was rewritten, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. You'll also notice their English voice actors. Some of the voice actors went uncredited, particularly Sumiya. Was she afraid of the backlash from fangirls? It's kind of interesting there. Well, the credits are almost over here, but, just saying, again, this game's localization is... I'm in the minority here, and I admit there's a bit of blue and orange morality on my part, because I want to be a translator. I want to study to be a translator in the future, and I want to get into game localization someday. In fact, I'd really love to actually work for 8-4 someday in the future, but after all the things I said about the localization in this game, I highly doubt they'd let me. Moment of silence for Satoru Iwata. You will be missed. You did an absolutely amazing job. And now we're just stuck on a screen here because the character bios on the top screen are going on for quite a long time. But yeah, this game's localization... Again, I know a lot of people love how heavily some of the characters were edited and things like that. It's just that I still prefer translations that are faithful to the original and yet still sound well written in English. Like the works of Alexander O. Smith, who did the Ace Attorney... Well, I know he did at least the first Ace Attorney game. I'm not sure if he did all of them. And Final Fantasy XII, he did Fire Emblem Blazing Sword as well. Yeah, that's another example of one that was spiced up just enough to sound interesting, but not so much that lines are barely recognizable from the original version. Kind of feels like nowadays that's the norm, because you've got games like Splatoon that entirely rewrote the final boss and certain characters, and yeah, I'm really not sure how to feel about that. Almost feels like these days people just don't want straight translations anymore. Again, this is more an issue just that involves me because I'm a translator and I almost worry that I'll be out of a job someday because games will just not be translated. The American version will just make up their own dialogue from the whole cloth because that's what the fans want, apparently. But anyway, that's enough about that rant there. Actually, 8.4 are also currently working on Mighty No. 9 and Xenoblade Chronicles X, but interestingly enough, they're not listed as doing Fates, despite the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles X and Mighty No. 9 are both games that aren't out in English yet. Fates isn't out in English yet either, so you'd think if they were doing Fates it would be announced, but it's not on their list of things they're doing, which might mean that they're not actually translating Fates. Interesting. Whoever is translating Fates, I really hope you do a good job. And with that, that's pretty much all I have left to say. So, there's still one more scene left to go. 1 year later. You might notice some of the children's hair colours are different to they were in the main playthrough. Just pay no attention to that. Canon is in flux at the moment. Soon everything will go back to normal. Less than a year. And the new shepherd's having a meeting.
Sorry. Well?
Intriguing.
And she's turned her talents to making good luck charms rather than curses.
Insolence!
But, well, her split personality still exists. Although this is a little funny if you've seen Lawrence support with Noir and have found out that he actually kind of likes being abused by her alternate personality.
Huh?
Though I'm not entirely sure if that's even canon if you don't get their S support, because he makes no mention of it until the S, and it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Is it over? Yeah.
And, yeah, how fitting. Chell becomes the new trainer of recruits at Yllis.
Yeah.
Huh?
When even Noir of all people is asking that, you know something's wrong. I imagine this being said really deadpan.
Say. Ha! Down, sword hand.
Yeah, he's finally got what he always wanted, but he doesn't know how to handle it.
Pathetic.
Well, of course, Owain probably definitely has the ability to do that. I would. That would be amazing. And it's the other three that we saved in Future Past 2. Again, don't mind the different hair colors. Yeah, and then even earlier that we were fighting the evil fanfiction character. Well, the world should be safe now. You shouldn't need to worry, Jan.
What?
Finally. Well, that's good. Unfortunately, they're kind of paying him a bit too much attention. Not being allowed to shapeshift would really suck, though. But I guess his waifu in my other file could sympathize with him.
What's that?
So,
Well, I guess she is really the only candidate left for another voice. I mean, there is Noe, but I don't think Noe is really interested in listening to Naga. Na already communicated with her, so she's perfectly qualified to be the new voice.
trust me.
What?
Ugh. Well, she can give yarn things, though.
What? You there.
Ah, hi there. I love this scene. Before I realized that, yeah, I didn't actually know that Shersh would be forcibly removing his mask during, the Future Past 3, so I thought this would be the first time in the whole playthrough I'd be showing his face. I love this. And the sheer irony of the fact that, he wears a mask so often that ironically, when he takes off the mask, no one recognizes him.
Hey,
Fool.
what?
Yeah, ironically, he's less recognizable without the mask. Huh, he's finally taken it off because he doesn't need it. Character development. Though, Jerome, I need to ask you something. When you took off your mask, did a giant glowing personification of your own psyche appear? Because if that did happen, I may have to ask you a few questions.
I see.
Yeah, I'm surprised he could actually fight in that mask the whole time.
Yes.
And he started a wyvern conservation project, hopefully of the non-evil 12-move ambush spawning kill you wyverns. If only Owain was like that. Yeah, exactly. And then you could all take them off and then you could summon things.
What?
No, most of you pretty much stand out already. Ironically, except for Inigo. Inigo, his outfit looks pretty much like a generic mercenary. But of course, he likes being a celebrity.
Huh?
Yeah, someone who dances. Unfortunately, we can't have a second person in the dancer class. Only one dancer may exist in any Fire Emblem time period at any given time. Otherwise, they could infinitely dance for each other and create an endless amount of experience. And that would implode the universe.
Whoa!
Just beware of those harvest festivals. They tend to be infested with Risen.
Well...
Ah, hey, Inigo's kind of over that.
Hmm?
Quite. Ugh.
Plus, at this point, he could actually be S-supported with someone.
You know...
But yes, Brady now accompanies him. Yeah, I knew Brady wasn't, yeah, Brady would be wrong when he said that that would be the last time they'd have a good cry.
Say... Yeah.
I like to think Brady's the one who's listed under the violin solo in the credits. And that's kind of nice, seeing as these two are married in this file. Other things. Oh, I see where this is going.
My sword hand twitches.
Yes, that sounds amazing. Although I doubt, I something tells me he's a terrible singer. Well, yeah, we're missing one.
Huh?
And a few more as well.
What?
Please tell me those are named soldiers, because generic soldiers in Fire Emblem are far from capable.
What?
Of course she isn't alone. She brought the new captain of the Elysian Pegasus Knights.
What?
Yeah, Cynthia kind of practices her entrances. She probably appeared in the middle of nowhere in a flower petal explosion. And yeah, this was always a question that I asked myself. After Fila died, who took over her role as captain of the Pegasus Knights? To me, I always thought that Cordelia would, because it seems a bit more likely Cordelia to do that than Sumia.
Leave it to me.
But in this case, Cynthia's taken over.
Huh?
I'm sure she'll be a great captain. But wait, who else is in the Pegasus Knights?
What?
I love that. That just completely deadpan silent entrance. It just, you can tell she's being dragged into this.
Any complaints?
And I definitely don't want to be like my mother or anything, idiot. Yeah, she's still the same as always.
Yeah, see...
Interesting. Well, I mean, she does tend to make a pretty good Pegasus Knight if you reclass her to one. The thing about javelins is kind of a callback to Cordelia's support with the Avatar, actually.
Wow.
Definitely is. Thankfully, there shouldn't be any fell dragons or evil fanfiction characters to threaten it anytime soon. Of course she has to come. She's the main one of the children. Yep, the new 12 Crusaders.
Simply put,
And suddenly cut ahead.
yes.
Of course, a hero's work is never done.
Listen.
Yeah, I thought Yarn made them go extinct, and when Yarn makes things go extinct, he's usually pretty thorough about it.
Quite.
But, of course, they're still popping up all over the world. I mean, people still need to grind, after all.
I shall save you. Get busy dying.
And, well, Na has considerable muscles,
Let's go.
considering how strong she and overpowered she is in this file. Oh, well, of course she always brings her bow because, well, it's on her artwork.
Say,
In fact, that should be pretty effective. That looks like a blessed bow, actually.
Can it?
Well, yeah, you can never be too sure. Plus, sometimes overkill can be pretty fun. Yep, just like the shepherds of old, protecting the locals.
Let's dance.
You're holding a magic tome right now, you can use that.
Let's go.
The new shepherds.
Oh. What? Yeah, see...
Oh, I'm sure they will be.
Are you daft? All right. Thanks.
And Lucina, you should go too. Have the entire team there.
It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. She's more than capable of handling herself.
But don't you see?
Yes, because such bonds are the true strength of this army.
Yes. Yeah, and... have my gratitude.
Or you could go and fight with them too. It just wouldn't feel the same without all of you there. Don't worry, as canon restores itself, they'll all be back.
Right.
Always. Well, I suppose now it's time for me to leave this world. It's been great, and I'm sure I'll be back again to meet up with everyone for the DLC chapters, but that might not be for a little while. I know this world is going to be safe, so I can pretty much safely leave everyone on their own. They can handle themselves at this point. Thank you all for enjoying this journey with me, and yeah, I hope it's been good for you. As for what the future holds for me in the Fire Emblem series, well, of course, there is Fates when that comes out. I'll definitely be playing that, though I don't know exactly when that'll be. I have at least 2 other Fire Emblem games that I do plan on covering. Sacred Stones and Radiant Dawn, so expect to be seeing those at some point, though they won't be what's coming next. One final thing, though. Gary Stu. He is dead, right? We did find his body. Or did we? No, I'm probably just imagining things. He's gone, he's dead. There's no way that he's still alive. I mean, he wasn't an Outrealm, so unless he fled to another Outrealm No, what am I thinking? I'm overthinking this. Anyway. I'll see you all in my next project. Until then, this is Big Clinky, signing off.